We're Texas CASA, and we're exploring issues in the foster care system that need fixing and proposing solutions. This is The Fix.
I'm Snehal Johnson. I have been with Child Advocates for about 18 months. I am a trauma and wellbeing advocacy specialist here. And prior to joining Child Advocates, I was an educator and worked in education for about 15 years.
And I am Aly Ferrante. I am the Program Innovation Manager here at Child Advocates of Fort Bend. I have been with the agency since 2011. So Child Advocates of Fort Bend is an umbrella agency. We have a children's advocacy center here that provides direct services to child victims. And by coordinating the investigation, assessment, the prosecution, and the treatment of sexual and serious physical abuse. We also have a CASA program, which is what Snehal and I are a part of. And our CASA program serves to advocate in the best interests for children in the foster care system.
We train our volunteers to build relationships with every stakeholder involved with a child, whether it's the teacher, the counselor, the special education department. Our children, because they move from so many placements, they have a lot of schools in their background. So we train our advocates to ask previous schools, what's their grades? What was their attendance like? Did they get any supports in school, in their classroom? Do they have any behavior plans? And it's important that we provide that picture for whatever the school is the child is going to next, so that they can provide the supports they need for our child. So the most important thing about the fix, when we talk about fixing education for our children so they don't fall behind, is one, not only providing the opportunity to go to the school, training our volunteers to go to the school to build those relationships, but also talking about normal things like at home, Maslow before Bloom, and building on, are they feeling safe? Are they nurtured? Are they in an environment where they're eating and drinking and providing support? Do they have felt safety? If they're not safe and they don't feel safe, they're not learning. We also train our advocates in the fun things, like go to parent-teacher night, go to donuts with dads, go to muffins with moms, do all of the things that any other parent would do. We encourage them to get their football schedule, get their volleyball schedule. If they do extracurriculars, try to go and be a part of that, because when they feel like they're seen and they matter, their entire life changes.
I think about this with my own children every year when we get a calendar for the school year's events. So like Snehal said, the fun little things, like making sure that they can go on field trips, or they have an opportunity to get the school shirt, little things like that to make their school year special.
Our children are not getting consistent education, whether it's being removed from different placements and changing schools mid-year, midweek. So they struggle a lot with just being able to stay consistent and get the proper education that they need so that they can be successful. We're talking about foundation, learning math, science, social studies, learning how to read, learning how to take notes. They're missing pivotal points of their education that follows them because the gap just gets larger. And so they don't necessarily get the education that they need, and then they don't have time to go back. So it's just a problem that just keeps building on itself.
So the first program that we developed over the years was our WINGS program. And this program was developed to really help center youth in preparing for their futures and really bridging the gaps so that they could transition into adulthood successfully. So our WINGS program has three main components. The first and foremost being to recognize and understand trauma. We want to look at how trauma presents for each child, because at the end of the day, knowing that, understanding that is going to help us better meet children where they're at and ultimately better advocate for them, especially as they transition and get closer to aging out of the system. Secondly, we really emphasize building connections and lifetime support networks. So we do this by really integrating collaborative family engagement into our WINGS program in every aspect, because the most important thing that youth can have when they age out of this system is connection and support from people other than professionals that are involved in their lives. And then thirdly, we emphasize supporting individual plans for transitioning, what their future goals are. So we have programs throughout the year that help foster this. We have a life skills program that we implement during the summer. And we cover all kinds of topics like education, career readiness, financial literacy, transportation, housing, foster care alumni resources, community service. Our NEST program was developed for youth ages 6 to 13 in foster care that we serve. The goals of this program are really to focus on education, on social interactions, and then health and hygiene practices. So to do this, we implement programming throughout the year. We have a summer back to school program that really focuses on getting kids back into having a consistent daily routine, following a set of group norms, and having some opportunities for fun educational field trips.
So not only are we focusing on education, the tangible things like being able to get in touch with their teachers and their educators and everyone that comes in contact with them as a student in school. We also here provide them with multiple opportunities in the community to see how they will become a productive citizen of their community. It's important that they see that they are a part of our community, they are a part of our world here, and that they matter. We also we do caregiver training for everyone that's involved in the child's life so that they know and they can be trauma informed when they work with our children. So here, when we talk about the fix, we talk about serving the whole child.